recording video. And
pandemic isn't over. Please wear your mask.
Please wear your mask. All that madness, man. It's still crazy out there. But back to the Community Coalition Show. It's again your boy K Wilson, David 2K.
Good. Gang, gang.
But we always try to bring on special guests. Today I got a real special guest. And y'all know, if y'all listen to the show, I get excited when I get to bring my people on. When I get to bring on my true friends. And this is a person who we go back, man. I'm talking about we go back like middle school. Like, oh, you yawning? Oh, bless you.
Nah, I saw it coming. Bless you.
Thank you.
I saw that coming.
No, but, yeah. I guess he didn't want to hear all that. But we go back. This is my boy.
Man.
I love this dude dearly. Again, I always like to tell people when I can how much I care about them. I also feel like as a Black man that we should be able to tell our Black friends, especially our Black brothers, how we feel about each other.
Absolutely.
While I have this man in front of me, while I have him publicly, I always want to tell him that you my man, I love you. We've been through a lot together, good, bad, all types of crazy stuff. We got stories that, man, we can't even tell. So also this man is also a former police officer. And I do want to bring that up because we're going to have a conversation about some of these things. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation was to get some of the perspective of someone who's done some of the work that we kind of have questions about too. So without further ado, Marcus, what's up, dude?
What's up, bro? What's up?
Man,
it's good.
I don't know if there's anything you want to say about yourself. I hate introducing people, but I don't know if you want to tell the people who you are, where you from, and all that.
From the good old town of Silver Spring, Maryland.
Good old town. Down street. We down street from each other.
Down the street.
Oh man.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. That's man.
Fairland Road.
Yep. So what's going on with you, man? How you doing, man? Like I said, your beard look luxurious.
Cool.
How you doing?
Cool. Just finished working out, boxing class, all that good old stuff. Okay. Studying some stuff where I feel like it's all in God's hands, man. But I'm having dreams that I got the joint and I just got the score where I need to get just to get on. That's all I need. I wish it was a way that you could just tap the book and you learn all the knowledge, like one of those little movies. Yep. You remember it for like 1 hour and you'd be like, test starting.
Hey man, 1 hour is all you need.
At some point you're doing what you can. You gotta, but also I think if your brain time to process information, it's a lot. Especially I know studying.
It's a lot of information, man. And the thing is, I've been studying, but I haven't been studying. But it's like I do my study sessions with the guy online, maybe 2-3 times a week, and then I look through the book maybe once a week. So altogether, I do about 3 to 4 times a week of studying. But today, I'm gonna study today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday for like an hour and a half, and take it from there, man. That's it.
Do what you can.
And if I got to retake it within 30 days, then so be it. But I'd rather get it one and done and don't even worry about it.
True. Yeah.
Feel it.
So while we got you here, and I'm not gonna have you here all day, but I am gonna have you here all day because I got you.
What's all day? I don't know. I don't even know the hours of the show.
We go for like an hour. Hey,
we're going for an hour.
But one of the things this show, like one of the common themes has been the show has always been trying to educate people on some of the things that's going on, not only in the world and our community, but also some of the things that we could be doing as well. There's knowledge, things like that. And so I've really wanted to have some of these conversations for a while, just to be able to help people out there. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to pick your brain on a couple different things, just with your knowledge being a former police officer, being a Black police officer, and I know people, they always ask me a lot of questions about that. So I just wanted to ask you some of those questions. I mean, I know you were a police officer for years. You did your thing in several places, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not easy, man. So I just want to ask you first, like, what made you want to become a police officer?
Mm. Getting harassed all the time.
Mm. So you wanted to change from the inside.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's real. Cause always, so like, I'll ask you, like, what is it like we on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you went through, became a police officer, like, what was it like?
Sorry, I was throwing something at my dog. Yeah. It was a good career. I mean, I like it. I miss a lot of people out the state I used to work at, and of course, former job. The adrenaline was good. I like the adrenaline. I used to like dressing in uniform, neat and clean. So that's what I pride on. But I like treating people with respect the best I can. And I never really got into the gun and badge thing where I'm an authority person and I need to take advantage of somebody because I have a badge. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I just love doing the job. So
yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. What was always did you get a lot of positive response from people, especially the community?
Yeah, I got accommodations after accommodations. I don't know how many, but not that many. But I got enough accommodations for somebody that actually was doing their job.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, out there doing your thing, like, I mean, we have an idea what we think what a police officer. And everyone thinks it's always fun, like you said, the gun and the badge, and you pulling up on people and you pulling people over, and it's always like this crazy stuff.
Well, sometimes we have to pull over people because it's not a stat. It is a stat-driven department. Depending on the department you are, you're not supposed to be on stats at all. But when you pull people over, they can't force you to give somebody a ticket.
Okay.
Warning is considered a ticket.
Okay.
In police department standards.
So they actually do keep those stats.
Yeah, they do keep those stats. Like, it depends because a lot of these people who are command staff and stuff, they really don't. They're more on a different resource now, but they don't want you to take advantage of people. Like, trust me, you can pull over anybody for any PC probable cause for anything on any car. It's really not that hard to find stuff these days. And my main thing is when you're looking, you're not going to find something. When you're not looking, then you will find something.
So I guess those times when like you pull somebody over for something completely different, like it could be like a light out, and then you end up finding something else like more serious.
Some off and on, but it's like more stuff like they're driving with no driver's license, no insurance, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, you can get a ticket without
somebody.
You can get a ticket for driving without insurance.
Yeah, most definitely. And it depends what state you in. So,
okay. I know Maryland.
Some states you could get a ticket for driving with no insurance and no car, and you can still drive off with the car, but you're not supposed to. Technically, the car is supposed to get towed. You have no valid insurance, no insurance, and technically the car can get towed. But some, depending on the officer's discretion, if the officer knows this person lives around the corner, they could drive the car home, but they're going to have those tickets.
So what? I don't know if it's different for different places, but what were the majority of calls that you had to respond to? What would you say like the most you ever had to deal with? Like, what was most?
Domestic violence, always domestic violence. Always hard. And it can just be something plain domestic violence, like verbal dispute and stuff. That's what it mostly is. Some neighbor called in, talking about they hear them arguing, so it happens.
Okay. So like I know, because I know you, so I know what you're probably gonna say, but like typical response to domestic violence, is it normally something just like a little argument, something internal? How does that?
I think I told you a story about the department I used to work for here at home, and it was so funny. It was domestic, but anytime a woman say I was hit by the person and there's no other witness, it kind of sucks because we got to take the guy. It does suck. And the minute she say that and try to recant her statement, it kind of sucks, especially if he push her and they live together. the trick is when the police calls and the woman does that, let the woman just make a report on the guy and let the guy please don't be there, because I'm saying you want to say your side of the story, but you have no witness, no nothing. You might as well let the person cool off. She might tell the police, never mind, he's gone. And that's it.
Yeah.
And we'll just ask him, like, do you wish to make a report? No, I don't. Slam the door. Case closed.
I know
you always got to give them the option of doing the report.
Yeah. I know sometimes you can tell me they would come down, like as soon as you take the guy and she would be coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the station. Yeah.
And also throwing water is a arrestable offense to somebody, because the water could be acid and stuff like that. So that is domestic violence. So yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. I took somebody for water before, like they threw detergent or something. I forgot, it was so long ago, but they threw detergent or something like that.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But that's also like it's. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like.
Well, I guess my question is some of those situations, like how much discretion does the officer have in making a decision?
They have a lot of discretion about it, man. Like, depending on what state you work for, if the DA is available by phone call, you can call the DA and give the thing to the DA and let the DA decline the charges or accept the charges.
Oh, you talking about
it's based on
directly?
Yeah, where I was at, I had to call the DA. The DA is open 24/7. So I had to call to get arrestable offense. But when I explained to the DA what it is, the DA was like, "Oh, it sounds like it's some bull."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, it seems like they don't want it." And I asked her the main question: does she want to press charges? And she said she don't know. Anytime somebody says that they don't want to press charges, it's not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah. So, dang, I didn't realize police officers had so much, I guess, discretion, even power.
Well, they be shopping, and some of the police officers, like crooked officers, be shopping to get arrest from the DA, and it's wrong what they do, because I saw it where I was at, like shopping for charges, and I'm like, dog, if one DA said no, you had your statement. Don't be trying to now change it up. I mean, I had officers put their hands on people while they put a handcuff. You know, I did research on officers that shouldn't even be officers, and that's Texas for you. And I hate to say it, but Texas is a very racist state when it comes to police work. Like,
okay, I kind of have a question about that. Do you see more officers, like, you can, let's say you're pulling someone over, or someone's getting pulled over. Do you see officers, like, even when they're given the directions, they're trying to provoke the driver to do something?
Yeah, most definitely. The thing is, you gotta learn how to take charge of your own scene. Once it's your scene, no officer shouldn't come over there and dictate what you should do unless they're an official, like a sergeant or lieutenant or commander or whatever rank insignia the department has there. But, because if they did something on your shift and they're high in rank, they're the one that's gonna get blamed. If they, the internal affairs guys were like, why didn't you stop the sergeant? Because he's my sergeant. Unless I saw the sergeant put his hands on somebody, then I would tell the sergeant to do that. But, that's the thing that gets a lot of officers jammed up, because you have a lot of hot-headed people that want it. And truth be told, yes, a lot of officers are happy because they got a job that they're doing, but deep inside them, this is all they got. And there's nothing else for them out there. They do the job till they're 60, 70 years old, and when the department put them out, and they die because I've seen a lot of them do the job and they don't have anything. And you have the good ones that are doing it because they was married and they don't want to retire, because once they retire, the wife gets half the pension.
Oh,
I had one of that. So yeah.
So you come across a lot of cops who just like their motives just aren't for people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Most definitely.
So these dudes, there's cops, and I'm saying this because I want people to know that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the stuff we talk about, we speculate, but we're hearing it firsthand that there's dudes out there that are really trying to hurt people, that are really trying to push people to get arrested. Like, is there some type of bonus or incentive for them to do that?
Like, to do what?
like get people arrested, to lock people up? Like, do they? No. There's no bonus. There's no incentive.
No.
There's no quota you have to hit by the end of the month.
Nope. You can't force that on no one.
Wow.
The department. That's why New York got in trouble with stuff like that. So
these really out here just out here just treating people bad. You know? So you as a black man, like, what was that like in some of that? Did you see a clear difference in how you were treated?
Yeah, I was treated real bad too.
Wow. You were in mostly all white departments?
Yeah.
So what were some of the things they would do? They say stuff like, would they just come out and be racist, or they would just...
Yeah, I had one sergeant recently call me equivalent to a nigger, believe it or not. Like, why is he not arresting people like him? He should know how to do this. Like he should know how to arrest people of his own color.
Wow. I'm telling you, this stuff is wild out here, y'all.
That's messed up.
Stuff I know, because I know sometimes, like, when cops say, we talk about like this brotherhood, this fraternity, like...
I never considered... I mean, I had brotherhood with a lot of the cops, man, but, I only dealt with the ones who were family mans and know how to put that job away when they got off work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, that's life, I guess.
Yeah. So you said a lot of dudes are like, I guess it's sad to hear, man. A lot of these dudes, they got nothing else, like they lifelong police officers, so they just, do you think it gets worse over time? Like, do you feel like, you just become angry over time, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. Yeah. It's sad. Now, I hate to be racial, but I'm going to ask racial questions. Like, what about other black officers? Did you find that they were being racist, or
where I was at? Yes. Because none of them didn't want to speak out.
Were they afraid to, or just afraid for
the job? They was afraid to speak out.
So when you see situations like George Floyd, where all them other cops are standing around, do you think?
And it's crazy. He was from Houston too, so he. I mean, look, the dude did have a record. I'm not going to say that he hasn't, but that doesn't mean that people can't change. The only problem in Minnesota, what was it, Minneapolis Police Department, I think, was that officer that had his knee on him knew him. Yeah. That was a bad part about it. That's what got the department getting done. The officer knew who that guy was. They worked together. That's what internal affairs do. They dig dirt. It's not even digging dirt. It's a simple fact that you had probably multiple people that called in to that department saying that these two knew each other. Yeah. So that's what got them jammed, got that department jammed up. And sooner or later, once the Senate bill goes through, or it's not even going to be a Senate bill, it's going to be a bill, period, that the public are now soon going to be able to look at our photos. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're going to make a determination who should be police officers or not, because there's a lot of crooked officers that have been written up too many times, and they don't need to be officers.
Yeah. So like, who killed George Floyd? This dude, how many times has he been written up? It was a bunch of times. Like, I think like 10 times.
So he's been written up a lot.
So why is there no like disciplinary action for these dudes, man?
There is, but it does happen with your color of your skin. I'm not gonna say it doesn't.
This is outrageous. So I hate to keep bringing up George Floyd, but it's such an example. Like, so when we watched the video, this is the first thing I thought. I'm watching the video of George Floyd. We got the one cop on his neck. I think the other dude, I don't know if they were holding him down, but then there's like 2 or 3 other cops that were standing around. Like, do you think they were trying to help, like tell him no, or do you think they were scared too to do something?
I think they were scared.
Yeah.
I think they didn't know what was going on.
They weren't gonna say, because wasn't he their sergeant?
No, he was a regular officer.
Oh wow. Okay. So
he was probably a senior officer.
Okay. So
but it was his scene. But I didn't think they think he was gonna kill him. I will give that up to those other officers. I don't think they thought he was gonna kill him.
Well, do you think they would have went against him because it was his scene?
Yeah, it was a scene, and
Like how big of a deal is that? Like if I'm an officer and I come on your scene, is that like one of them unspoken rules? Like that's a no, you don't do that.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So that kind of makes more sense. I'm not saying it was right, but you start to see the insides of how these things work, y'all. You know, and that causes problems too. Because I can imagine once you start going against the group, the police officers, you gotta go to work every day with these dudes. Is it like that makes it miserable? You know? Yeah. So once you seem like what they call you, they seem like a traitor or something.
Yeah, you could be a traitor. You could be whatever they want to call you.
Wow, and they treat you different.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, like does that mess up like your job?
That blue shield is real.
See, yeah, this stuff. See, that's what I'm saying. This stuff people don't know. So this is crazy. So like, how do you get rid of these dudes?
I wish I could give you the answer, man.
Yeah. Do you really think they're trying to get rid of these dudes?
No.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not.
Sounds about right.
So this whole like one thing I always see, especially you talking about like internal affairs, like how effective are they? You know, are they part of this whole fraternity as well? You know,
they're part of the fraternity too. I'm not gonna say that now.
So they're supposed to be the body that's overlooking the disciplinary, but if they part of the problem, they part of the group. They not doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man.
So yeah, this stuff, y'all, man, it's it's stuff we kind of know, but it's still frustrating to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, so one thing I did want to ask you, let's say if I'm getting pulled over, what should I do? Like, do I have to prevent? Like, what should I do? If you feeling like, what's the best thing?
First of all, he's supposed to tell you. He or she's supposed to tell you what they're pulling you over for.
Okay, so they have to. Okay.
That's in the 7 steps.
Okay, so they have to tell
7
you what
steps. It's called the 7 steps. Every department knows that. Supposed to introduce your title and your department name. Ask, do you have, insurance and your ID card? And they can do it 2 options. Now, you don't have to follow them verbatim. And you're supposed to, but you don't have to. The 7 steps is you have to, and you can type it in, the 7 steps of law enforcement. It should be something Google in there. But once you get the ID and stuff from them, then you're supposed to tell them why you're pulling them over.
Okay.
And some officers tell people why they pull them over before they ask for the ID and stuff, just to make it comfortable for them.
Yeah.
So you can do it either way. It depends on how you come at the person.
Okay. So
now I never had a problem with that. Now I have arrested somebody stupid that I was not trying to give a ticket to. Well, I was gonna give him a ticket, but his stupid ass was gonna give me his ID and then drives off because he had a warrant. And his warrant wasn't even something that was arrestable. But because of him driving over, that considered a felony.
Yeah.
So that was his stupid fault.
Yeah. So what if I don't present my ID?
They have a right to extract you out the car.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Now is that one of those things where they have a choice?
Yeah, they have a choice to do it. They don't have to do it.
Okay. So they
but most officers are not doing that now because it's just too much.
So what happens if they don't? Would they have to like call? What is the steps then?
Yeah, you can't leave the scene. Usually you don't leave the scene, and most people don't because they know the minute they leave that scene, something, that's a felony, like you evading, detention or something, whatever state, because every state's different.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't want to do that. Most people try to call for a dog on the scene of canine to see if they can sniff.
Yeah.
I don't think those canines are accurate because I've seen one dog that they used to get an alert every time he walks around. I'm like, that's impossible.
Wow.
But they're trained, so That's just how it goes.
Yeah. So I mean, I could sit there for as long as I want, pretty much.
Correct.
Until they decide.
Like you never seen this stuff on TV, like how long they sit there?
Yeah,
I have, yeah.
And that's why I was wondering, because like it seems so unclear. You know, that's why you get some dudes, they just snatch them right out of the car. And then some dudes, they say, nah, sit there. And they'll sit there and wait. And then it looks like a supervisor or somebody will show up. Mm-hmm. And then I guess at some point, do they have to make that decision? Like, are we going to stop them? Okay.
Like, I remember there was a scene, not with someone driving, but these two officers trying to handcuff somebody because they said that he fit this description. But they found out he was an FBI special agent.
Oh, snap.
Black dude, yeah. And,
I think I remember seeing that video.
And they told him to let him go, but it was a simple fact that he was already sitting there, and he was sitting there among his friends the whole time.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to know how to have better mindset. Just because every black person wears the same thing does not mean they fit the description. You could have just went up to the officer and be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Have you been sitting here the whole time? Hey, do you mind if we ask these people real quick? Sure. Hey, has he been sitting here the whole time? Yeah, what's the problem, officer? The reason why I'm asking is because, hey, if somebody that fits the description looks like him, but me just looking over here, it looked like he's been sitting here the whole time, and you don't want no issue and stuff. So, and usually it's fine.
Yeah.
Usually you never have an issue with that.
Yeah.
You just got to know how to come off at people.
I agree. I think that's what people in general, like sometimes you just talk to people the right way. You know? But this whole fit the description thing, because you would not know. I think we've even been in this situation when we were younger. How many times did we fit the description? I fit the description. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times. That was the one thing that was used every time somebody wanted to pull me over. That's what everything they would tell me is that I always fit the description. Like,
what? Oh yeah, lockup. I remember him.
You remember my man? And then others too. Like around, like we grew up, man. It was like literally every other weekend we were getting pulled over for something. Asked that everything. Every time they would always tell us, "You fit the description." What exactly does that mean? I've always wondered.
You fit this description of somebody they're looking for.
And are there any guidelines to that? Like,
nope.
Like, so a cop can say that and justify. I mean, as long as I'm black, pretty much, I can fit the description.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is amazing. This is amazing.
It's insane.
I'm telling you, I'm a large black dude. There's very few people walking around there my size, but I always fit the description. That's crazy. So, and there's, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if there's nothing to come back and nobody can question that. I mean, if it's like, let's say me and David, like, if I commit a crime, but they pull David over saying you fit the description, like, how does that work? I'm like 3 times his size.
Like, I'm a 5'5".
Do they actually get away with stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, have there ever been times when somebody came back and be like, there's no way that could have been him?
Yeah, can, but at the end of the day, that's what people do. Reasonable suspicion.
So yeah, wow. I'm sorry. I'm learning a lot. I appreciate you, and I know we've had these conversations, but I'm glad that we're putting this information out to people who may not have ever heard this stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of speculation. So again, I'm coming back to people who are watching. If you're listening, like, we're hearing it firsthand. You know, we don't have to keep going back and forth. So I did want to ask you those things. I also wanted to ask you about like the little things too. So like, I have to present my ID. So you we saw.
Yeah, I couldn't find that case. But I remember Lieutenant told me that a long time ago. He was a state trooper, so he definitely knows about it more than I did. It's a Pennsylvania case, and you have to present your ID.
Yeah, that's
the issue. You have to present your ID. Your ID is for you to identify who you are.
Yeah, right. So a lot of these videos that we are seeing, and these guys aren't presenting.
Right. Now, the lawyers are telling you don't have to present your ID. And it's true. You don't sometimes. depending on if they have probable cause. But if they have probable cause, yes, you are supposed to present your ID. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Okay. If they have PC, not reasonable suspicion, they cannot pull you over for reasonable suspicion that you fit the description. No, that's not PC to pull somebody over while they're driving. If the car, oh yeah, it was a black Toyota Camry, license plate unknown. They see a black Toyota Camry. Yes, that's probable cause. They can pull you over, and they could jack you out that car too.
Okay. What about?
It just varies, but it's an officer discretion, man. Like most people, if you pull them over and they're pulling you over, take your time going over there and make sure they don't have a gun or a knife to stab you, or shoot at you. I mean, the job it's not easy. It can be hard.
Yeah. What about? So I want to ask you, what about like when they ask someone to get out of the car? Is that the same thing as not presenting? Like if they ask me to get out, do I have to get out, or?
No, you don't have you don't have to get out unless they have a reason to get out. Probable cause always plays everything.
Okay. So do they have to present that reason?
Yeah, they're supposed to present that.
Okay. So that's why I asked them.
Oh, no. No, they don't. I forgot that. No, they don't. They don't have to present that.
So if they ask you to get out, the best thing to do is probably just to get out.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. That's so. So I guess in all this, if we're gonna change things, you know what I'm saying? Like how do you feel about what people talk about, like not so much defunding, I ain't worried about defunding, but like changing how some of this is done, how this is handled. Like, do you think it'd be a good thing for police? Like,
well, I don't think the police department will ever be defunded. I know people want to, but that's gonna take time, bro.
Yeah. What do you think about bringing like social workers and advocates and stuff in? Do you think that would help? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Like if you went on the scene, like a domestic violence, and there may be a social worker with you, like, do you think those situations will help?
I think so.
Okay. So, and this is why I'm asking, so like, even like, man, I know it is a lot. This is a lot, and I don't think people talk about like how much you had to go through, all these things you have to know. Did you like? What about your safety? Were there times that you felt that you weren't safe?
Yeah, when I was there.
Yeah, I mean, like on the job. Like, did you ever pull somebody over and had a feeling like, I don't know if this is safe. I don't know what's going on here. Like how often does that happen?
Not that often.
Okay.
Not that often. No. I just try to just see. I mean, yeah, Kenny. I mean, it varies.
Yeah, that's probably hard to answer. You ever had to shoot somebody?
No, nah, never.
That's what I'm saying.
I almost tased someone before, but that's about it.
That's about it.
That's very tame.
You ain't never had to shoot nobody.
That's extremely tame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so all these guys out here trigger happy. So when you see some of this stuff on TV, you see the same clips we do. You see all this stuff out there. Like, when you look at somehow these other officers, like, do you really feel like, man, they could have did that differently?
Yeah, they could have. But a lot of them choose not. They don't want to do it.
That's so. Yeah, that's. I just feel like, do you feel like cops have too much power sometimes?
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's more they think they have way more power than they really do, because they, like you said, they can't force you out. They're not supposed to force you out of the car, right?
Right.
And
unless they have reasonable suspicion.
Right. And from a lot of these clips that we're seeing nowadays, it's like I've seen people ask, am I being detained? Or like they'll ask a question, am I being arrested? Am I being detained? Why do I need to get out of the car? and those questions aren't answered.
Right. They're supposed to answer those questions. So if they're not answering those questions, then you don't have to get out the car. The word detain is detain. Like, it might be detained. Yes, you are. You're being detained for that I can smell marijuana coming out your car. Mm-hmm. And that's always the number one easy way to detain somebody. And to search your car without any warrant.
Yeah. So that's why I would say when they say they have power, they can use things like probable cause.
Mm-hmm. Right. A body camera does not show the smell of officer nose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you can, so there's these little tools, there's these little go around that you can use. Yeah. So probable cause, you can search somebody's car, no problem.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the rights when they want to search your car like?
It's mostly marijuana smelling, intimately. Okay. Like if you found a gun in there, you could search the trunk because they could carry more guns or bullets inside the car. Mm-hmm. That's the only time you should trunk. Like you could only open the trunk if you feel if there's other stuff in there that you cannot put in the glove box or a center console. Mm. Right. So the wingspan doctrine is you could reach through your glove box and everything and search through there. You find anything through the wingspan through there, then you can search the trunk. I gotta look back at it because it's been a while, but
wow. Yeah.
That's always a test question they used to ask you on that. But yeah.
How long
it's a lot.
How long did it take for you to become a police officer?
Good question.
6 months.
That's the academy, right?
That's an academy, yeah. 6 months is the academy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spent a good 6 months there.
I remember them days, man. Remember them days we used to talk about that stuff, man.
Uh-huh. I do miss it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
What did you like? So again, I'm all about the kids too. Like, what are some of these things, especially with these juveniles, some of these young dudes out here, especially where we live at too, man. I seen cops. I remember us. We used to get pulled over when we were kids and stuff. Like, is it any different for our young black friends out there? Any different for juveniles?
Yeah, they get pulled over all the damn time.
Yeah, we used to get pulled over all the time. So, okay, so going back to that, man, I remember I had that old beat up Oldsmobile, man. I used to get pulled over every weekend that joint. Every weekend. Like, do cops really go after certain types of cars?
Yeah, that's a preference.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Around here, like I said, as soon as I upgraded the car, I stopped getting pulled over. So I had that old Cutlass, man. We used to ride that. I was like 18. Remember them days? And then, like, we used to always get pulled over. And I was like, I think it's the car. It was the car. Always felt like it was the car. You see a black dude in an older car, he's always have a problem. So, right. So cops do have certain preferences. You could tell some cops do. So it's profiling them.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of cops really out here profiling, like, yeah. So it's crazy out here, man. I can't tell y'all this. We got to be careful. Like the goal is to go home at the end of the night.
Right.
So if you know you ain't out here doing nothing wrong, just the best thing is just do what you got to do to get home.
I agree.
Yeah, just get home, y'all. And also too, just on the other side, like say you being a police officer, like I'm not gonna sit here and dog police officers. I want police officers to be safe too. Because like I said, one of my best friend was one. You know what I'm saying? He's right here. And I used to always be concerned. I want him to be safe too. I wanted him to go home. So they have families, they have loved ones too, So we just want everyone out here to be safe. That's what this is about. So do what you got to do. The best thing is to sometimes listen, follow the instructions. It may not always be right. It may not always be fair. It seems fair, but go home. Get home.
Right.
Get home. So yeah. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you sharing, Marcus, my man. But I do have to gloat for a little bit. I just want you to see the shirt. Huge Ravens fan. But what happened?
Well, we won against the Ravens.
Yeah. What's up with your boy Lamar?
He's doing okay, man. You know, it's taking him time to get readjusted again.
Yeah. Hold on, who are y'all playing? Who y'all playing this week?
I don't know. I gotta look at the schedule.
Yeah. You know, when the Steelers play, I might have you come down. We might hang out. You know, just have a good time on that one. I like messing with them. I like that. It's all good. I actually like to. I respect the Ravens too. I do. Like those are always the best football games of the year. So, yeah, they are. You can I respect the organization. I feel like they do things the right way too. I actually do feel like they're doing right by Lamar, a black quarterback, and I do like that. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I feel like they try to take care of their dudes for the most part,
Right.
So yeah. So all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know you had a long day. I know you've been working hard.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna find a way to catch up sometime soon. But while we are here, moving to Bob and Karen's, our segment where we talk about these crazy white folks.
Absolutely.
Now I know. Again, I saw a couple of them. Did you see any?
I did.
What you got?
A former mail carrier sentenced to 2 years of probation for selling cocaine through USPS.
I did see that. Now,
that is crazy. First of all, I've seen people I shouldn't say that. I know people that I shouldn't say I know people. I know that the charge for selling and distributing should be jail time. First of all,
so yeah. What's that look like? What's cocaine distribution look like, Marcus?
It's a wild question.
No,
I'm saying you supposed to know they got cocaine, you automatically get locked up, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But how does lady?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's a felony. It's a felony. Most of weed is like. Okay.
You know what? That's a good question about weed. Is there a certain amount that you have to have when I know every state is getting different with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you have to have intent to distribute or something? I know weed is getting different.
Right. It's being decriminalized.
Yeah, because
very slowly, but at least it's happening.
But they're making money off of it. Government's making money,
Right.
So I'm saying, hold on. With that story was she still working as a mail carrier?
Oh, no, it said former mail carrier.
Okay. She was probably still using her friends and connections.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. How you get probation? Selling cocaine, real talk. How you get probation? Come on, man.
Yeah, probation.
There are probably kids that can't get probation for that.
My black ass been selling cocaine, man. I'd have been under the jail. Come on.
Wouldn't make it to the precinct.
They would have been locked me up. They wouldn't have been no judge. I'd have been straight. I don't know. That's crazy to me. I don't know. I don't understand that. How? And you're a mail carrier, so you know exactly what you're doing. You're straight manipulating the system to make this happen. It's not like you sell it on the street corner. No, you're actually using the mail carrier service to distribute cocaine. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. I did see that one. What else? Is there any others that you saw?
I didn't see any other ones.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any that were really outrageous. I've been seeing a lot of them. I mean, some of them have been recycled.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see some of the old ones coming back.
But also, I am seeing some stuff about voting. Like how people, it's like, oh, sorry, you're not registered. You gotta go. You can't vote.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
There's the whole, and then after that, there's the whole like the whole trying to provoke people just because you're voting, just because you're there, literally existing, trying to exercise your rights.
Yeah. And that's gonna be, that might be next week's topic. Like we've seen this whole voter suppression, intimidation, all this stuff happening now.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but like the orange guy, he said to go to polling places, and like I don't know exactly what he said, but I think he said like look out for
polling
certain people.
Yeah. So he pretty much told him in code to show up.
Right. Yeah. That's weird.
Dude is wild. He a wild dude, man. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, I wanted to ask this one thing. I wanted to ask you, Marcus, while I still have you. All these like false reports, man. Like all these people that are out there, like these Karens that are out there claiming these false things about Black people and stuff. Like, are these false? Can these be false police reports?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody can do a false police report, man. You can get it done, and there's nothing you can do about it. You try to get it recanted, but it's a pain in the ass.
Wow. That's another reason why we gotta be careful with these Karens out here, y'all. And I understand, and I always say that these people, they're trying to provoke us. That's why you see all these they in the grocery store, they're not wearing masks, and we say something to them, and then they claim victim. Like, gotta be careful with them, y'all. It's like the girl at Central Park. She called the cops. She lying on the Black dude. She was lying on him.
Right.
That stuff is hard to disprove. It's hard for a Black person to try to prove that he didn't do that.
Right.
And they know that, and it's a tactic they use, y'all. So again, I can't stress this enough. The goal is to get home at the end of the night. So
absolutely.
So we got those out of the way. Marcus, I want to thank you for coming on.
Oh yeah, man. You know me, bro.
Appreciate you. I still love you. I know, even though I can't. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people only knew, man. If people only knew. We could both tell stories about each other that would, yeah. So shout out, Marcus.
Just leave that right there.
So again, Community Coalition Show, you can find us at communitycoalitionshow.com. You can find us on streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google. You can watch the video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. If you watch it, just like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're here, we're gonna be here every week. And so again, Marcus, again, if you have any other questions, again, also too, if you watched, if you heard this, if you have any other questions, let us
submit them.
The answers, like I said, we do have a couple of resources around here. We might be able to get for you.
Talk to us, we'll talk back.
Yeah, so even if you have questions for Marcus or questions about what to do, send them to us. And that way we can try to get the right answer for you. Because again, a lot of this information floating out there, there's a lot of people that aren't quite sure what to do. So let's try to clear the air with some of this stuff. Let's try to let people know what they should be doing, what's good to do, what's bad to do, what's against the law, all this stuff. So let us know.
And also, there's a lot of false information.
Exactly.
So we gotta educate yourself.
Yeah, we gotta clear the air with some of this stuff. We have people that are telling us right here, this is what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You're hearing it from an actual police officer, So it's not just us guessing and talking amongst ourselves anymore. So let's get this information out there, y'all. Okay. But on that note, K. Wilson, David 2K, Marcus, peace.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, y'all, man. This is, it's cool. I've never been on the podcast before.
See? You like it? Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Stop audio, stop video.